When I had mine, nobody knew about it. I went on the internet, and what I saw was alarming. They said they found us in the morgue. When it hit, it was so loud in my head. It's hard to explain. The loudness in my chest like just rang into my ears. It was really loud, and it was so hard, the force, that it almost, I was standing up, I almost fell down. I had to grab onto something, and I was by myself at the time. And then I started to sweat, and it was February in San Diego. It was kind of cold, and felt nauseated. I didn't feel right at all. I remember thinking, this is weird. What the heck was that? I mean, I remember going, what the heck? I go, okay, something's wrong. I shouldn't be feeling this way. So I called my husband, which is probably what you shouldn't do. You should probably call 911. But I called my husband, and my husband went on the computer, and he was saying, what are your symptoms? And I was telling him it, and I hear him clicking away, and I start panicking inside because I knew what he was going to say. And he told me I was having a heart attack. And I told him, no, I'm not. And he said, yeah, you are. You need to go to the hospital. And I argued with him. I said, I'm not going. I'm not calling an ambulance. We had people coming for dinner. I didn't have time for this. And later on, I found out that my reactions are pretty normal for women. And also, my reaction is normal that when people are having heart attacks, they get agitated. And I was really agitated. I drove myself there, which you should never do. And there was a line of people trying to get in to see the ER, and I didn't want to bother anybody. And so finally, I hear my husband yelling in my ear, did you get up to the window yet? And so I told this guy, excuse me, I have to get ahead of you. And so I got up there, and they took me to the back right away because all of my symptoms, my arms were numb, and I was sweating. And they took my blood work. My EKG was normal. So I was thinking, oh, good, I can go home. This is, like, no, you have to wait here. I said, well, I don't need any of that, I'm fine. She says, the doctor will be here in a minute. And that's when I knew, and he came in and told me that I had a heart attack. And then he left, and I started panicking. Oh, see? She got right in my face. And said, she was this close. This is what I'll never forget. And she said, do not go to the dark place. Don't go there. Do not go to the dark place. And I didn't, because I was going to the dark place. If I would have had it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I maybe would have gone right into the cath lab that day. But because it was a Sunday and I was stable, they did not. They just admitted me into the hospital, and then on Monday morning a cardiologist came and said you had a heart attack, but as they assumed, just like I assumed, I had a heart attack due to plaque. And so then that was on Monday, and they couldn't get me into the cath lab because the cath lab's busy on Monday, so they were scheduling me on Tuesday morning. They would transfer me over by ambulance to where the cath lab is. Monday night I had another heart attack. And but they were able to stabilize me because they knew I stabilized, and that I was going first thing in the morning. Then I went on Tuesday morning, and that's when, in the cath lab, is when they were diagnosed as a spontaneous coronary artery dissection. I'm in healthcare, and even when I had my SCAD, and they told me what it was once I was diagnosed and woke up, I still didn't even know what that was. And all I remember hearing was, my husband said to me, it was not plaque, you didn't have plaque. And I couldn't comprehend that because I was considered healthy. I was assigned to a cardiologist, and he told me it's a fluke, it'll never happen again, go on with your life. That was the worst thing any doctor, in my opinion, could have said, because I pushed everything back and said, it'll never happen again, go on with your life. And then I pushed it all down and pushed it down and pushed it down to one day, about 9 months afterwards, I couldn't get out of bed one morning. I just was frozen. I was very depressed, scared, afraid. And I'm not blaming, but I know that's what it was. He told me, it'll never happen again, go on with your life. It was almost like a dismissal. I don't think The current doctor, and the reason why I love my current cardiologist is because when I went to him for my first checkup with him, I wanted to test him to see what he would say. And I said, will this happen to me again, do you think? He goes, I don't know. You're hired. It used to be that heart disease in women, it was in the 70s and above. So when a younger woman walks into the ER complaining of chest pains, it's either considered they're stressed, they're a wife, a mother, they have a career, or it's indigestion. And so they get dismissed a lot. Don't dismiss us. It's better to take them into the back, do all the tests, and if it's nothing, then, but to say, oh, it's probably just GI, pull troponins, do a stress test. Those are not very expensive. Those will show that there may be something. I do have 4 stents in my heart, but I'm pretty well back to normal. I mean, I'm able to do everything that I was able to do before and not be able, there's certain things that, you have to be careful about. But I was really lucky I didn't have a whole lot of damage.